Y'all, my Florida vacation has begun. We got 2 weeks of fun in the sun, and we're getting it started right now on Lake Ida. And I'm about to roll over here. We're gonna start right here on this dock and kind of make our way just casting around the shoreline, these docks, boats, overhanging trees, stuff like that. And this year, I've fished Lake Ida the last few years when I've come down here on vacation. We're gonna try out a different bait than I have thrown here in the past to see what we can get. So I'm gonna put y'all here in the chest. I'm gonna get my shades on too, because it's bright out here today. I left a kind of dreary East Tennessee. And boy, when I stopped to get gas down here in Florida on the drive down, I was like, I can see the difference already. I can see it and I can feel it. But here's what we're gonna do. I have brought with me today a tub of worms. This is some live red worms. Now, I've been told in years past when I was down here that worms weren't super effective here, at least for like peacock bass and other exotic species. I don't know this to be true. I haven't tried it myself, but that's what I was told, so I just never done it. I've been throwing gulp and other artificial lures, and I've tried shiners last year and stuff. But along these docks, I have gotten some huge bluegill. They've got these big copper-nosed bluegill. They're a native species to Florida. And bluegill love worms. And so since these people that I've spoken to down here in Florida, nobody cares about bluegill down here, I'm guessing we can catch us probably some bigger bluegill with the worms than what we can with the gulp and shiners and other stuff that I've used in the past. So we're going to try it today, at least for part of the morning here. I'm going to start out throwing these worms. I do have some gulp with me. We'll certainly throw it. I've got another rod here with me too. We'll throw at some point for some peacock bass. But I want to start with the worm and just try to throw it up under this dock. We're starting here. Lake Ida, it's basically two small lakes that's kind of separated by a canal. You got the upper portion and the lower portion. Now, I have fished both in years past, but I'll tell you, I've done way better for both size and numbers of fish up on the upper portion. So that's where I've come to here to start. We're up here on the upper part. And this particular dock, I believe it was I came down here twice in last year. I can't remember the first time I come down or second time I come down, but I caught some crappie on this dock. And I mean some big, I'm talking hand size, copper-nosed bluegill. And so I'm gonna start right here because you come out of this canal and this dock's right here. And we're just gonna work our way around today. I'm gonna leave the camera rolling. We're gonna just go uncut today. Y'all gonna see it all from right now when we're making some casts around this dock to when we start catching fish. Hell, we might catch some snags too, I don't know. Maybe see some iguanas or some crazy birds. Hell, down here in Florida, you might see a hot woman in a thong bikini laying on one of these docks. You just never can tell what you're going to see in Florida, folks. This is crazy town down here, at least compared to the world I'm used to. I mean, it's you never know what you're going to see. But like I mentioned there in the opening, man, I got 2 weeks down here. I've got today on Lake Ida. I've got tomorrow morning, I'm going to go to the Everglades. I'm going to go to Everglades National Park and do some fishing. Then, after I'm done there, I'm going to go on down to the Keys. And that's where the real vacation begins. I've got 2 weeks starting tomorrow in the Keys. And that's when we're going to have some real fun. We're going to get out there after some stuff out there in the ocean, man. Some sharks, We might get some, probably get a bunch of them snapper, maybe some barracuda. Who knows what you're gonna catch? We're gonna do a little bit of everything, man. We're vacationing. We're doing stuff on vacation that we can't do at home. Yes, I could go ultralight fishing and throw around some docks and catch some bluegill at home, but I can't catch these big old copper-nosed bluegill like you have down here. So that's what we're doing today. We're starting out with the ultralight and working our way up to the real heavy tackle. And this here, if you're new to my channel, this is a St. Croix Panfish Series ultralight rod. It's 6 foot long. I've had it forever. 2 pound test, trout magnet SOS line, a Daiwa 1000 size reel, and I've got, with that worm, I've got just a small jig head. Something hit me. Oh, I missed him. I've got just a small jig head. It's a 1/64 ounce size with a number 8 hook. I'm gonna let that thing sink down a little more. I had a hit right then. I need to back off here. The wind is blowing a little bit today, but it's kind of coming from this direction. Oh, I had another hit right there. Folks, tell them fish when they bite to get the whole shebang now. That was a terrible cast. But the wind is kind of blowing from this direction, so I think it's going to hit us at times, but I think we're going to be way more shielded from it up here than what we would be if we were fishing on the lower part of the lake. So I think we're not only made the right call coming up here just from history perspective, but also too with the wind direction. Now, the next few days, I've looked at the wind forecast down in the Keys. It's looking phenomenal. I mean, it's looking amazing down there. That was a little bit better cast. We got up under there a little more. I ain't turned my graph on. I couldn't tell you how deep it is here. Honestly, don't really care how deep it is for this style of fishing. Like I said, we're pretty much just beating the banks here. We're throwing up under these docks and just letting a worm sink down, or before we leave this particular dock, I am going to put on a gulp if we don't catch anything on the worm. Just see if it'll do anything for us. Let me throw this worm over here. Let me throw it right up under there and see what happens. That was a better cast right there too. 1 out of 10 ain't bad. Yeah, cut me a break on my casting here, y'all. I'm a catfishman, you know, we don't do a lot of casting. That's, oh man. Well, we snake bitten here to start. We've had like 3 bites. I ain't landed a nary one of them. We're gonna get something though today. If you're seeing this video, by gosh, the tide turned for us, and I don't mean the current flow. I mean something went right for us here. If you're seeing this video, I ain't gonna show you no skunk video, especially the one that's probably gonna be, I'm gonna do this probably a couple hours. And then, oh, something hit me. Got him. We got one finally, y'all. Let's see what we got here. Is it what we want, or is it some exotic? Oh, it is what we want. Oh, buddy, look at this. Get your net up here, folks. Get your net. Get your net on this thing. That's what we want right there. Oh, buddy. 14-hour drive yesterday. 14 hours I spent on the road. Worth it. Worth it for us to get these right here, buddy. I want you to look at this thing. This thing is a slob. A slobber knocker. Oh, get him, get hold of him here, folks. I can't hardly get my hand around him. Good golly, how tall he is. I knew there'd probably be some. Every time I fish this dock, I have gotten some of these things. I don't know why they like this particular one, but boy, they do. Let me put the worms out the way here. Let's get out our measuring board. Woo, he's over He's 9 1/4 inches long, but look how tall, man. Look how tall that thing is. Here's what I want to do. I want to do something with you here too before we throw him back. You hold right there, Bluegill. I'm excited about you. Let's do our Jimmy rig camera out here. Y'all take a picture of me and that fish. We're on vacation. We got to get some pictures here. Get me one of me and this fish here. Let me turn into the sun right fast. Don't be looking up my short legs there either. Bunch of perverts out there trying to see up my shorts. Look at that. Oh, easy, easy. Nice. All right, we'll see you, buddy. He gone. Yes, y'all, I'll fist pump that. Let's put this back up. You're all gonna have to bear with me. I'm excited. A lot of people don't get excited about bluegill. I do. Especially them big copper nose ones, because I just don't have access to them at home. You know, we've got the northern strain where I live, and of course we got some shell cracker, and we've got some green sunfish. We've got the usual suspects at home, but unless you've got access to somebody that's maybe got a private pond stocked with them copper nose, I don't. You don't get them unless you go somewhere like Florida here, where they're just kind of they're a natural native species. So man, I tell you, and folks that were there, I mean, he was tall, but he wasn't very long. I wouldn't be shocked if we get some over 10 inches here. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Worth the drive, man. 14 hours yesterday it took me. It shouldn't have taken me that long. I made it all in one drive. I started yesterday morning, a little before 8 a.m., and I got checked into the hotel. It was a little after 10 p.m., I believe. So, 14 hours. Should have been about 12. I'm staying in the Boynton Beach area, which is about 5 miles here from Lake Ida. Last night and tonight, and of course driving down to the Keys, where I'll be staying there tomorrow. But I wouldn't say even so much traffic, it's just stop and go type stuff. I left when I did to try to avoid the heavier morning traffic around Chattanooga. Oh, I got another one, I think, right here. Got him. We got him. Oh, man. Let's see what this one is. Another one. They're on this post right here. We made a few casts on the other side, and there wasn't nothing happening. And this one over here, they've got some on it. This is another one. I mean, look how thick these things are. Look at that, buddy. I'm gonna put him here in the light. I don't think he's as long as the other one. He's not. He's 8 3/4, a little bit smaller than the other one there. We'll let him go. We'll let him go without a picture. I'm gonna get me a few pictures today. But yesterday I missed the traffic in Chattanooga, just like I had planned, but around Cartersville, Georgia, it was stop and go. I have no idea why. I never saw a wreck. It was just, you'd speed up to about 60 miles an hour, and then the interstate would come to a complete stop. You'd sit there a minute, you'd get going again. Oh, boy, did you see that? I shot that thing, it'd put your eye out. Something got our worm over there. Something got our worm, and I about put his eyes out. But anyway, it was stop and go. I never saw any wreck or anything. And then it opened back up, and it was smooth sailing until Atlanta, which Atlanta, it's always a mess anyway. Atlanta's just probably the worst place to drive in the southeastern United States. It's awful. So I knew I'd get held up there a little bit. But once I got through there, it was pretty smooth sailing again until I got on the Florida Turnpike, which is a toll road. And you would think, being a toll road, it would go a little smoother than the interstate, right? Because you pay in to be on that road. Well, again, I don't know what was going on, but just you would be going full speed and then come to a complete stop. And you would sit there for 30 seconds, a minute. You'd start to move again, get up to speed, and then complete stop. And it was like that for probably an hour down through there. Never figured out why, never saw a wreck, didn't see any like construction delay type stuff. I mean, just couldn't figure it out. But nevertheless, between those delays and then just me, I had to stop for gas twice on the way down and stop and got something to eat at one of those pit stops for gas. Here you are, 14 hours it took. So I always dread the drive down here, but once I get here, I love it. Especially this time of year. I mean, it was cold back home this week. We had some temperatures down in the 20s. We had our first real cold snap at home. Our first frost, which, you know, it sometimes can be October. This year it was November. We had a later frost this year at home, but regardless, I don't like cold weather. And so the fact that it had gotten cold and I'm able to get the heck out of Dodge really worked out. Me and now my wife, formerly my girlfriend, now my wife that we've walked the aisle and said the vows, we've come down here the last few years and we had been renting timeshare, other people's timeshares weeks at this place we stay at in the Keys. And last winter, the person who I had been renting from put both of their weeks up for sale, 2 consecutive weeks. And so I bought them. That way we would be guaranteed having Thanksgiving week down here. That my wife's birthday usually falls around Thanksgiving. And so it's her birthday week. She's got a corporate office job, so like she's off on Thanksgiving and the day after anyway, so she only has to take 3 days vacation in order to have a whole week off. And so by getting both of these weeks 46 and 47 on the timeshare week schedule, we're guaranteed of having her birthday week every year. And so my plan was, I was like, well, I was wanting to come back in January or February, make another trip down here. And I was like, whatever week we don't use, whatever week that's not Thanksgiving week down here, I'll rent it out and use the money that I get from renting it out to pay for the January, February trip. Well, I listed this week at a very high price on the Facebook group there, and I didn't get any takers on it. And I was like, well, darn, I guess I'll have to come down here for 2 weeks. And I'll probably still come back in January, February. But I'm down here alone in right now. My wife, there's fish. Boy, I've got to get it way up under there. Oh, that's another big bluegill too. I've got to get that thing up under there between them 2 posts. I think I'm going to swing out here. I'm going to try to hit it from this other side. Boy, that's another good one right here, buddy. This is another good one. I need to use that net on him. I'm going to pop that line one time. I want you to look at his head, too. Look at how nasty his head is. You see all them bumps and whatnot? You got the funk, fish. Oh, Lord. Calm him down. Get you on out of here, fish. I don't even want to put you on the measuring board because you're liable to give that funk to your friends when I put them on that board. I want to try to hit this. The way the wind's blowing right now, it's going to make it hard. But on this side of the dock right here, when I can get between those two posts and get it up under there a little ways, we're getting bit. So I'd like to come in from this other side over here. But the wind's kind of coming at this angle right now. It's going to be tough. We're going to end up blown up on the dock if we ain't careful. I'm in my Hobie Lynx kayak, which is great to travel with. Love this thing. But it can be a little bit of a pain in the patootie on windy days because it gets blown around so easy. That right there wasn't how I wanted to cast, but I'm just going to throw on the outside over here and see what happens, see if we get anything over here before I try to get up under there. You see how that wind's got me moving down through here, man. Like it don't take much wind to blow this kayak. Now when I'm out there like in the ocean and stuff, it's not a big deal, but when you're working around these docks and whatnot and you're trying to make more precise casts, it can be a little bit of a hindrance. I was hoping it would blow in more from this other direction here. That way we would have this house and the trees and stuff kind of blocking it. Let me try this. Well, that was a terrible cast. Y'all made a bad cast right there. I was trying to get behind that other post over there if I could. It's another terrible cast, but I'm gonna let that sink down because it's at least in front of those posts. So yeah, so we got these 2 weeks guaranteed now. And the yearly maintenance fee is way cheaper than what we could just come down here and rent anyway. So my wife is coming down next Wednesday. So she will get basically 10 days. She was able to get Thanksgiving, the entire Thanksgiving week off, and then the previous Thursday and Friday off from work. So she's going to fly down after work on Wednesday to Key West. I'm going to pick her up at the airport there Wednesday night, and she'll be down here until I leave. I'm going to, gosh, I can't cast for diddly poo. Let's try this one more time. There we go, that was a better one. She's flying out, we check out on that following Saturday, I believe the 29th. And I'm gonna drop her off at the airport in Miami. Oh, fish. Let me back us up a little bit. Is that bluegill or is that peacock? Yeah, it's bluegill, okay. I saw a different color on him there. I thought it might have been a peacock for a second. I'm gonna try to get some of those today too. I'm gonna work this dock pretty thoroughly though, because I know there's some big bluegill here. And I want to pound them, man. I've looked forward to this. Give me a hook back, bluegill. I thought these worms would work out, man. I thought they would. They may not catch a peacock bass, but I thought for sure we'll get some big bluegill with them. Oh, easy, easy. Hey, calm it down, sir. Yeah, he's 8.5, just over. Nice. Look at the colors on him there too. These copper nose, they're a little bit darker. They've got the lines, purple there. They're clearly, when you catch a copper nose, it's an obvious difference versus a northern strain. And I did catch a big northern strain down here. I think it was the last time or time before I was down here. So they're in here. I'd had a fella one time tell me there wasn't no bluegill in here. They couldn't survive, that the exotics the cichlids and peacocks and stuff like that would prevent them from being able to survive here, but that's clearly not the case. And after doing some research, you found out that these coppernose, not only do they thrive here, but this is native waters to them. You can see how far we got blown off this dock while I was releasing that fish. The wind is coming pretty steadily out of this direction now, which is a problem. It needs to switch back the other way. We'd be so much better off. I could hit the side of the dock from the other side over there. But I think as long as we can get right here and throw right there, we're good. We're gonna keep pounding them right here. Let me get turned so I can try to make a good cast, and that certainly ain't it. Let's try that again. Oh my gosh, you all are terrible casters. And everybody's gonna be saying, Justin, you need to be up there, what do they call it, dock shooting or whatever, like them crappie people do. I probably do need to learn that technique. But we ain't gonna learn it right here and right now. We're gonna keep just casting over there and getting frustrated and hitting it about 1 out of every 10 times. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, that one's a little better. I think we'll catch a fish right there. I think we might get one right here. I'll let it sink down. On bottom. Nope, maybe I didn't get it far enough up under there. Okay. Golly bum, I can't. Now we knocked our worm off. Y'all need to calm down 3 notches. You're excited and you can't cast. Let's get this one right here. This looks like a good worm. That looks like a winner right there. We're gonna catch a big fish on that one, I just know it. Yeah, I brought these worms with me too. I didn't know. I've been to bait shops down here to buy shiners and shrimp and stuff. I never looked though to see if they had worms. Like, can you even buy worms down here? Do people fish with them? I don't know. So I was like, I better just get some at home before I come down. So I did. I brought these worms from home. Okay. Let's try this again right here. Oh, much better cast right there. Much better cast. If we don't get one right here, something's going wrong. We got that way up under there, right there by that post too. I'm feeling good about it, even though we ain't got a bite on it yet. Got him. I knew we'd get one that time. I knew we would. If we can get far enough up under there. Oh, he's gonna pull too. Is that a peacock? I think this might be a peacock right here. Boy, we about to bust a myth if it is, because I was specifically told they ain't gonna hit things like worms. I think we got us a peacock here, folks. He's orange. No, it ain't a peacock. I think it's maybe it's some exotic. Is that a cichlid? Or a tilapia? A tilapia or a cichlid? I don't know. Somebody has told me before, and it's been a while, I can't remember. I saw the orange on it and thought it might be a peacock. But it's, I mean, it's a battle on an ultralight for sure. Let's move our worms out the way. We'll throw him on the board right quick. I might get a picture with this one too. Look at this thing, man. Good looking fish. I'll get him in the light here in just a second. Only 10.5 inches, but I mean, thick, man. That is a thick fish. Let me do this. Turn around here. Turn around here and put that camera up there in the mount and take a picture of me, would you? I'm gonna hold this fish up toward Lawnmower Man over there. He's gonna think I'm showing it off to him. That's what he's gonna think. Oh, we got water on the lens. Y'all gotta holler at me now. Lord, you gotta let me know now when we got water on the lens. I ain't gonna know it on my own. Let me wash your face off there. Lord, it's still on. I think it's a water spot had dried on there. Okay, that's better. Y'all gotta tell, I got water on my lens too right now. Goodness gracious. Here. Again, don't be looking at my shorts, y'all. I know how yous are. All right. Let's hold this thing up. I don't know what it is. Nice. Whatever it is, I'm happy to get him. All right, buddy. Might be some kind of cichlid, or an Oscar, or tilapia, who the hell knows. Makes no difference to me, honestly. I just want to catch them. And I want to catch, you know what I want to do today? Not only do I want to catch them, I want to catch a bunch of them. And we're going to. There's just everything up under this dock, but man, you got to get it way up under there. And this side of the dock over here, it looks like that bottom board has fallen off at some point, but on the other side of the dock, which we can't get over there to, I'm left-handed. So it's hard for me, it's gonna be hard for me to get over there with the wind blowing in this way and for me to make a cast over there. Plus, we've got that bottom board over there that we don't have on this side, but we made several casts over here on this side, and there just didn't seem to be any fish. So we're just gonna have to try to make it work right here where the fish are at. That's all we can do. I maybe should have brought my power pole with me. I brought the power pole to put on this kayak. I'm actually going to try it in the Everglades tomorrow and see how it will hold me in the current out there. But I didn't think about bringing it. I didn't think about bringing it out here, and I don't really want to run back to the car at this point. But depending on how deep it is over there, we might could, where them weeds are at, we might could power pole down right there, and then the wind wouldn't be a factor at all. But we're going to keep doing what we got going on here. All I got to do is get y'all to make a good cast. That wasn't the best cast, but I'm going to let it sink down. It's good to know, though, whatever that fish was, it's good to know that they're willing to eat a worm. It gives me hope that we're going to catch some other stuff on the worms here other than the blue, which I'm content with catching the bluegill. Don't get me wrong. I mean, hell, I certainly am. But I'd like to catch some other stuff too. You know, whatever we get this worm in front of, I want to catch. And I guarantee you there's some peacocks up under there. Probably even some crappie too. Now, I wouldn't expect to catch the crappie on the worms. I don't usually catch crappie on worms, but if we throw a gulp up under there, maybe when we switch out this worm the next time, maybe we'll put a gulp on and just see what happens. Because I have caught a bunch of them bluegill in the past. Oh, that was a really good cast. We're getting one on that for sure. But I have caught a bunch of bluegill down here in the past on the gulp. That's what I normally throw. That gulp just works everywhere. I can't believe we ain't got bit yet. Oh, we do. We got one on. Oh, yeah, when I reeled up the slack we had, oh, another good one. Let me get us off this dock here. Let me get us off the dock and we're gonna land this thing. I'm gonna use a net on this one too. Gotta be careful, that 2-pound line now. Oh, another good one. Oh, buddy. That's what I'm talking about now. Worm getting it done for us, man. Oh, where'd you eat that jig head at? Oh, no. He's ate that thing deep, folks. He's ate it deep. Get you. We're going to have to retie one time here. I ain't going to be able to get that out. He ate it too deep. Well, I'll tell you what, fish, here's what I'm going to do with him. I'm at least going to get a picture with him for all the trouble I'm about to go through having to retie. Let me spin us around here. Let me spin around, stick y'all up here in a second. We'll get this thing dialed in with the system here shortly and be able to do this much quicker. Look at that. Nice, man. I just hate that we had to break that jig off in there, because one, I don't want to do that to the fish, and two, now we got to retie. But here's what I do. I keep a little box in my life jacket with some jig heads. That way this process is very fast. If I can just get hold of my line. This process is very fast when I do need to retie. And that little box of jig heads, that's my tackle out here today, folks. That, my tub of worms, and I got a little pea cup, urine specimen cup, that I keep my gulp minnows in, because it's unlike the gulp jars, that urine specimen cup is actually leak proof. Don't make a mess. But that's my tackle. The rest of my tackle, my other rods and gear and stuff that I'm going to use for the saltwater fishing, all that stuff's in my vehicle. Out here on the water, I don't need all this stuff. In fact, let me show you right fast. So up front here, obviously we got my DIY camera mount. We got the net. We've got, behind me, I got my camera bag. I got another little bag here on my seat. I put my wallet and keys in and stuff, and I got my wheels and my flip-flops down there. That's it, man. To come down here, do this style of fishing, you just don't need a lot of tackle. So I keep my gulp minnows here in this little cup holder, and we're going to throw a gulp on right fast. I said we'd switch over to a gulp after we lost that last worm, so let's just do it one time and see what we get. But yeah, man, like, to do this ultralight fishing, one of the great things about it, especially when you're traveling, when you're traveling, you're on the road, you're kind of limited on space. It's nice to be able to have a technique that doesn't really require any space. I mean, you know, my gear here, my jig heads carried on the life jacket. Gulp minnows and a tub of worms takes up no space. So, like, loading and unloading the kayak from my vehicle, you know, it's not a big deal, because I'm not taking on and off a bunch of stuff with the kayak. So it just, you know, it's less weight, it's less hassle, it gets you on and off the water quicker, and it just makes for a better experience. And then when you have techniques like this gulp minnow or worms where you can not only catch a bunch of fish but get a variety of species, it makes it a lot of fun. So we're going to throw the gulp here a few times. We're spending a lot of time on this dock, and I'm okay with that. I've got a few docks out through here that I know from experience now, having been on Lake Ida several times, that I know just seem to have the big bluegill on them all the time. So we're going to spend some time here, and then we're going to move on, and we'll work pretty quickly through this area until we get around to the next kind of hot zone. But I wouldn't be shocked if we picked off some more fish in between, whether it be, you know, exotics or peacocks or whatever. Golly, but I can't cast for nothing. There we go. I skipped that one up under there. Will we catch anything with it, though? That is the question, because it's on the wrong side of the dock. It got to the left, and I needed to be to the right. Y'all haul over at Lawnmower Man. Tell him we've driven a long way today. We'd like some peace and quiet. He don't care. These Lawnmower Man. Oh, we got a fish on too. We got one. We got one on the gulp on that left side of the post over there. It's a bluegill, but it ain't quite as big as the others, I don't think. Hey, well, I see that. Now I get him up here. And, oh, look at the colors on him, though. He's smaller than some of the others, but look at the colors on him. Definitely different colors. I don't know if that's a male and female thing or if it's just a random coloration. Okay, that was a little better. A little better cast. I'm excited to be here, y'all. I'm pumped up about this. I love it here, especially this time of year when things are colder and more dreary at home. I love it. I love doing this style of fishing. I love catching big bluegill. It's honestly, when you go back home after having caught these, it's a little bit harder to get excited about going back to catching 6 to 8 inch northern strain, when the biggest northern strain you're going to catch at home is smaller than the smallest bluegill that you're going to get down here. We've talked, me and my wife, like we've talked about possibly moving down here at some point in the future. Her and I, we've both got responsibilities back in Tennessee. That was a good cast. We've both got responsibilities back in Tennessee at this point in time, but at some point in the future, it's possible we end up down here somewhere in South Florida. Not the Keys. I can't afford that kind of lifestyle, but somewhere on the southern half of Florida, I could see us making a move at some point. But in the meantime, we've got our 2 weeks of timeshare in the Keys that we can look forward to, and weather permitting, when I come down to go to the Keys, I'm going to just allow myself an extra day or two to fish here and maybe do an Everglades trip like I'm planning on doing tomorrow. I don't know what all we'll catch in the Everglades tomorrow, but I imagine we'll catch something. Oh, crap. Got up under that gutter. The wind has slacked for a second. Let's try to cast over here. Let's try to cast over here on this side. You see how on this side of the dock, though, it's got that other board right there that's not there. On the other side, I made a good cast though. I got up under there with it. Can I stay off the dock long enough to catch a fish though? I don't think I am. I was excited about that cast too. Let's try it again. That's another pretty good one. I skipped up under there. Oh, I got hit. Let it sink back down. Nothing. Let's throw up over here toward the back. Oh, another good one. Another good cast. I got way up under there. Let's see what happens back up in here. I don't know how shallow it is. You've got this kind of retaining wall. I should turn the graph on, I guess. Let's turn the graph on. I'm not going to leave it on the whole time because I don't want to be charging batteries down here, but I'm just curious what depth we're setting at right now. Like if I had brought the power pole, could we even use it right now? We ain't getting nothing back up in there on the shallow side. Let's landed in front of the dock that time. Try it again. No, another one. Let me turn back around this way. Where we at? Where we at? Give me a depth. Hell, it's 7 feet, 8 feet deep here. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to use my power pole's 8 foot long, but you know, you gotta allow for the height of your kayak and the height of the mount, plus it's got to go down in the ground a little bit once it gets down there. So really you need something less than 6 feet to be able to really, I'm gonna turn this back off now. You need something less than 6 feet to be able to really anchor down in it. So we wouldn't have been able to do, that was a good cast. We wouldn't have been able to do what I want to do right here anyway, had we got the power pole out. But I will have it tomorrow for the Everglades. It's gonna be real shallow, and we will utilize that tomorrow to try to anchor ourselves in the current. I've also got a small motor this time. My channel members have seen it. I did a channel members video showing them the motor that I bought specifically for coming to Florida and helping me with the current, and also for emergency purposes when I'm out in the ocean and stuff. If I get hauled off a long ways, I don't want to be in any kind of safety issue. You know what I mean? Like if you get hauled out by big fish or something, and God, doggone it, you know what? Here's what I want to do. I'm gonna take our gulp off. I'm gonna put a worm on. We're gonna make a couple more casts around this dock, and then we're gonna move on. But that motor is kind of an insurance policy. If I get hauled off out in the ocean and hooked up to a big shark or whatever, and God forbid you have a problem with your pedal drive, and you're out there at kind of peak tide flow, boy, you can be in a bad situation. And with me being down here by myself, it's not like we have a buddy system or anything that, you know, one of y'all could help me out. I asked my channel members, you know, they get kind of behind the scenes stuff with the channel members videos. I asked them, as if any of y'all down here in South Florida, whether you live down here or if you maybe was vacationing down here, you know, hit me up. We could fish together. But nobody hit me up on it. So I don't guess anybody's down here. Or else they just didn't want to fish with me. One, who knows? But either way, that motor's an insurance policy. And I'm gonna be using it tomorrow, along with the power pole. And we're gonna see what all we can get hold of in the Everglades. I'm gonna take some live shrimp out there. Let's throw this worm, let's try to anyway, up under this other side here before we move on. And then I'm gonna bust out our spoon and kind of work these areas in between the docks while we go down to the next dock. Let me just let that sinker down right there by that pole. The spoon I'm gonna be throwing next. I'll show you here in a second. Okay, that was a better cast right there. We got up under there a little bit. That's gonna be our last cast on this dock, folks. How long we spent on this dock now? Oh my gosh, almost an hour we spent here. Woo, lordy days, we've spent almost an hour on one dock, but it's been worth it. At least it has been to me, because we've gotten a few bluegill. We'd have probably got a few more if I wasn't having to just spend so much time getting reset. Oh, something got our worm. I'm having to spend a lot of time getting reset between fish because of the way the wind's blowing, so that's probably cost us a little bit. And two, me getting pictures with the fish has certainly slowed us down. But you know what? We're on vacation and I ain't no daggone rush. I'm more in a rush to get Lawnmower Man out of here because we're heading his way. And even with the fancy pants microphone on, he's probably going to be loud. Lord, he's headed toward us. You want to just skip this dock right here? He's coming toward us. Let's go. Let's see which yard he's doing now. He's probably got this whole neighborhood. I was gonna say we could just, we could go, let me make a cast right here. And then we can just kind of go around. Oh yeah, I gotta show you this bait here too. This lure, Catfish Sumo sells these. And I use them back home to catch skipjack and white bass for catfish bait. But this is called a Sumo spoon. And it is just a curved piece of metal. It's painted white and got a small hook on there. And when you cast it out, and you gotta have a weight there with it. It's very lightweight. You can't cast these things at all without a weight. So I've just got a piece of 15-pound fluorocarbon line, swivel. You want to swivel with these spoons because they twist. They'll get your line all twisted up. And I got a little 1/4 ounce worm weight. But as this thing's coming to the water, it's twisting and vibrating and causing a lot of flash down there. It looks like a bait fish that's fleeing. And back home, skipjack, white bass, largemouth, smallmouth, man, you catch them all on a spoon. And when I've tried it down here in the past, I've gotten peacocks, largemouth. I mean, you just, basically any kind of bass species are gonna hit one of these spoons because it looks like a bait, like I said, a bait fish that's just running or swimming. We got to get away from Lawnmower Man. Good God, he's all up and down through here. He's going from one yard to the next. He needs to get with me and coordinate my schedule, folks. We wanted some peace and quiet down here now on day one. Let's go on. Let's hoof it on down through here. Maybe we get around the corner here, he won't be as loud. So I know even on the fancy pants microphone, he's gonna be he's going to be putting off a lot of noise. I do want to work this area right here, though. I've caught some peacocks by this tree here before. So let's make a few casts right here. Just see what we get, if anything. One thing about, though, I'll tell you what I didn't bring with me. I did not bring any extra spoons or sinkers or leader line. I have it with me, it's in the vehicle, but it ain't with me on the kayak here. So what I'm saying is, make sure y'all don't lose this spoon we got tied on. Oh, I don't know if something hit me or if I come through some grass. Ain't it beautiful down here, though? Everything's so green. When you don't have lawnmowers on each side of you, you can hear the birds. It's so nice down here. Oh, fish. We got something. Right here in front of this tree. What we got? Oh, that's a tiny peacock right there. Tiny little guy. But, hey, first one of the trip. He had him a big appetite, didn't he? Hell, he's about as big as that spoon. I've got some here in front of this tree before. We ain't gonna spend a lot of time here. What I'm basically gonna do is just cover water very quickly. This is kind of almost a search lure, you call it here. If we bust a big fish, we'll certainly make several casts because they could be schooled up. But what I want to do is just kind of basically just fan cast down through here as we move along the shoreline until we get to the next piece of cover that could be holding a school of fish, like something like a dock or a boathouse, something like that. So we'll work this area pretty quickly, but wouldn't be surprised if we catch us something. I put on some new, I got 15-pound braid. I don't know if I mentioned that or not too. I got some new braid that I put on prior to this trip. I'd been down to, gosh, I'd had that other line on for 2 or 3 years. Of course, these are my skipjack rods here. These are just bass rods, Shimano, I don't even know what the model is, SLX maybe, SDX, I don't know what that says. They're just a 6.5 foot medium heavy bass rod, basically. It's what I use for skipjack fishing, white bass fishing back home. But this braided line, it lasts so long, I just never replace it. And so I was down because they've been on there 2 or 3 years, and of course you lose some line from time to time, get hung up and stuff, or get your line twisted up using these spoons, and you got to cut part of it off. But I was down, man, I'd make a cast, and you'd see the reel, the spool of the reel, because there wouldn't be no line left. Like I'd make just a normal cast length, and that would be the pretty much at the end of my line. So I was like, it's time. Before I go back down to Florida, I need to switch out this line and just re-spool everything. So I did that. Got me some shark leaders together. We'll be trying a new rod this year for sharks. I've been using the Catfish Sumo Elite 150 rods. And buddy, they're stout rods, man. They might be a catfish rod, but they can handle anything I've been hooked up to down here. But I wanted to try, those are bait casters. I wanted to try a spinning rod. And so I ended up getting me an Ugly Stick Big Water. It's 6 foot, it's kind of short, medium heavy, but it's even though it's rated medium heavy, like it's a stout medium heavy. Hell, them Catfish Sumo Elite 150 rods, they're rated medium heavy too, but again, they are stout rods. I mean, they can deadlift 150 pounds. I've seen it done. So anyway, I wanted to try a spinning rod. So I got one, and I've brought it down here. We're going to try it out. I've got some braid on it for the main line, and then we're going to be using one thing I had done last year, and I had seen people talking about this online, and I was a little surprised by it, but when I tried it out, it really worked out. People that are fishing for smaller sharks, like 6 to 8 foot sharks and under, which is what I mean, anything bigger than that, I might hook into them. Am I going to land them in the kayak? Hell no. I'm probably not even going to see them. You can battle them for 2 hours and just never get them up. But when it comes to things like black tips and smaller sharks like that are manageable in a kayak, a lot of people have switched from the wire to heavy mono. So last year I was using 400-pound mono for my leaders with no wire at all. And you know what? I think I had 2 sharks, either bite through it or just, the abrasion there through the fight. They bit off. But most of the sharks I hooked last year, I was able to catch without any issues with the 400-pound mono. And it's a lot easier to work with. It's not hard on your hands at all when you go to grab. Like when you grab that wire, yeah, boy, it'll tear your hands up, man, when that fish is thrashing around or whatever. But the mono ain't nearly as bad. So anyway, I got some of that. I got some shark rigs tied up, 400-pound mono, and we're gonna try to catch some. We're gonna get out there and give it a college try. Last year, when I went to the Everglades last year, it was I think I'd come down in January. And that was my first time ever fishing Everglades National Park. I'd fished with that fishing guide that I met down here, Chase Masters, and I'm actually gonna call him. I'm gonna try to hook up with him again while I'm down here. But he had taken me to the Everglades National Park, and while we were there fishing for, well, pretty much everything, we had got some snook and some trout and some jacks, and we got a bunch of stuff, a variety of species. But while we were doing that, he told me that in the winter, you catch a bunch of sharks down there in the Everglades. And I don't know if it's time for them yet or not, because I mean, it's still hot down here. I mean, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt right now, and I'm sweating. But nevertheless, I'm gonna try it. And I mean, hell, if I don't catch any sharks tomorrow, no big deal, because you throw shrimp out in the Everglades, you're probably gonna catch a variety of stuff like him and I did there last year. But I am going to try to hook up with him and see, he had talked about last year taking me out, getting out in the ocean and stuff and going for sharks and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna take him up on it if he's available. That's another one of those things, like I had offered my channel members, if anybody was down here and wanted to go out on that trip with him and I, if I was able to, if he had any availability, you know, they could come with me, but no takers. They ain't had no takers on this spoon either down through here, have we, other than that one peacock. When we get over here to this next dock, I'm gonna throw a worm. We got several docks over through here we're gonna throw a worm at. I'll tell you this though, having a full spool on your reel with line, boy, it helps the casting. I know it's a common sense thing, but hell, I'd been down to the last little bit of line on my reels for so long, you don't realize how short your casts are until you've got a full spool and start casting. Okay. Well, let's put this up for a minute. And let's get our ultralight back out. And listen, we could just as easily, instead of throwing the spoon in between these docks, we could throw a gulp. But the spoon can be retrieved at a lot faster clip, a lot faster pace. It's honestly really the faster you work it, the better, honestly, with them casting spoons, because they're looking like a bait fish that's really getting after it, you know, it's really spooked. But it's just I feel like we can cover water a little bit more quickly with the spoon and still have a chance at catching something, versus throwing the gulp where we would have to work a little bit slower. But we could have literally brought one rod out here and had a chance at catching a bunch of fish. Let's throw right over here at this dock, see what we got going on. I don't know if we'll get anything over here or not, but we're gonna give it the college try right here. Yes, we probably need to throw up under there a little bit in the shade. Let's see. I'm gonna spend as much time on any of these docks as we did on the other, unless we really get on them. Now, if we get on some fish, I'll change my tune on that. But that other dock, I've got such history with it that even though we didn't get bit right away, I knew there were probably some fish somewhere around that dock. So I was willing to work it a little bit more thoroughly than what I'm going to be willing on some of these others down through here. Yeah, let's move on from this one. You need to put the camera mount back down is what you need to do. That thing's up there in the way, but sure as I do, we'll catch another fish we want a picture with. Let's throw right here on these, along the edge of them weeds too while we're at it. I'm just curious, man. I'm just interested to see what's the worms going to do for us. How are our catches today going to compare to other trips? You know, there's an efficiency aspect to it as well. Like when I'm throwing the gulp minnows on the jig head, I can catch more fish per bait. Like with this worm, you catch a fish or two, you got to replace your worm. It's gone or it's dead. With the gulp, I can normally get 8 to 10 fish on average per gulp. So you're not spending all of that time rebaiting. And it don't seem like much, right? Like, you know, how long does it take to rebait? Not very long. But over the course of a session, you end up losing a lot of casts, having to rebait a worm. And the more casts you make, the more fish you're going to catch. It's just a numbers game. It's like one of them telemarketer salesmen, right? You know, we all hate them telemarketer salesmen. No offense if you are one, but we hate you. And I'm not exaggerating that. Literally, everybody hates a telemarketer salesman. But they know there's a science to it. The more calls you make, the more sales you get. And so then it just becomes, how do you maximize how many calls you can make in a day, right? And of course now everything's automated, that the phone programs will just keep dialing. But in the old days, man, it was, I guess they were just there in their little cubicle and dialing as fast as they could. They get told no or went to voicemail on one number, they're right back on the next. But it's literally what it is. It's a numbers game. The more calls you make, there's a percentage of people that's going to pick up, and of that percentage of people who picks up, you're going to get told X number of no's and X number of yeses. And, you know, again, it's a science. Oh, we got a fish. Right here between these dogs. Let's see what this is. Oh, I think it's another bluegill. Right here between these dogs. Boy, that's interesting. It is. Boy, I'm glad we brought these worms, man. Oh, this is a big one too. Oh, buddy, this is a big one. Calm it down any day now, bluegill. Any day now. Calm down. I wish you'd calm it down 3 notches, sir. I'm trying to get hold of you without breaking my line there. Where's that jig head at? I think we can use the forceps on him and get it. It's deep, but he ain't gut hooked. Just further back in the mouth there. Can't hardly see it for the worm. There we go. There we got it. Boy, look at this thing though, man. Look how thick he is, buddy. Let's bust out our measuring board again. Yeah, he'll graze that 9-inch spot right there. That 9-inch line, buddy. He was over there in between. There's a pipe, like a drainage pipe that comes out over here. I'm gonna make another throw over there too. Anything like that. I don't know if you can see, the water's kind of dirty, but that pipe comes out over there. And when you see these drainage pipes coming out, they'll oftentimes have like blocks kind of holding them down, holding them in place. And places like that, just a little bit of structure, something for a fish to relate to, it can hold some fish. So apparently right in there it was holding the bluegill. And if you hold one bluegill, you're probably holding multiple bluegill. it up again here a little bit. I'll blow right on top of where we caught that fish. Make one more cast over there. What was I talking about before that fish hit? I done forgot. It don't matter anyway, I don't reckon. Probably wasn't important know-how. Oh, we was talking about salesmen. Yeah, and efficiency. But you know, what I was trying to get at, it's just about being efficient. The more casts you make, the more fish you're going to put a bait in front of. The more fish you put a bait in front of, the more bites you're going to get. The more bites, the more fish caught, etc. Now, where you kind of run into the gray area is, do you want quantity or quality? And one thing I've noticed, yes, I've caught some big fish on the gulp, but on average, I catch a little bit bigger fish using the live bait. So I'm going to catch less fish. I'm coming down here, I would expect to catch less fish with the worms than what we would with the gulp, but potentially catch some better quality. And we got another one right there. Oh, buddy, we're on to something right here. This area right here, between the docks, is that that's a northern strain, I believe, is it not? I think that might be a northern strain. He's got some markings right there. I wonder if that might be like a hybrid or something. The front half of him looks like a northern strain, and the back half looks like right up in there, kind of looks like copper nose, but the rest of him looks, either way, it don't matter. It don't matter, folks. We're on to something here. Let's just throw back over here at random in between these docks and see what happens. That was an interesting play. I was just kind of casting right there as we make our way to this next dock, but we got bit. There could have been something there I didn't see. But yeah, anyway, just to finish a point. I would expect us to catch better quality with the worm and more numbers with the gulp. But I mean, if we could find a way to make as many casts with the worm as what we do with the gulp, then we'd have the best of all worlds. But it really is that simple. More casts, more fish. The same as it is with cold calling people for phone salesmen. Like, there's a reason they do it. You and me, we both get annoyed by it when we get them telemarketer calls. But there's a reason why they do it, because they know if they just dial enough, they're gonna get some takers. Then it's hard to believe anybody does it, but they'd all be out of business if they didn't get sales on it. So people are spending, they're buying. And it's the same way, like, listen, yeah, I'm a married man now. But if I was single, it's a numbers game on that too, man. The more girls you ask out, sure, maybe you might get a very high percentage of no's, especially depending on the kind of girls you asking out, or maybe if you ain't the most attractive fella or whatever. But it ain't gonna be 100% no. So it's like, how many girls are gonna say yes to you if you ask them out? Is it, oh, we got a fish. Boy, he's a pulling too, man. Oh, these things fight like a dickens, buddy. I see orange on this, or is it just the light? It must have just been the light on that dirty water. Another good one, buddy. Right here. There may be more bluegill down here than what I realized. There could be, folks, because I mean, we're right here between these docks. I mean, we're just throwing out here at random and just catching another slob right here. Boy, he's hooked good too. We got him right through the dang nostril. There we go. Boy, that one's a pale one too. Here, we're kind of turned in the sun for a moment while we're sitting like this. Oh, no, no. I caught him in the net. Nice try, bluegill. Nice try. That's awesome. All right. Oh, we're on to something here, man. Random casts. I mean, Lord, I ain't got my battery pack going here. Let's fix that right fast in a hurry. All right, now we're good. I'm gonna put another worm on here too. We still got the worm on part of it. Let's put a new one on. Yeah, we're on to something. But yeah, just to finish that thought, you fellas out there struggling with the ladies, just keep asking. You're gonna get a lot of no's, but it's not gonna be 100% no. And it's just, and listen, part of these girls you're gonna go out with, you're gonna wish you hadn't. They're either gonna be batshit crazy, or you're gonna go back to their house and they're gonna have 47 cats, or you're gonna just realize some reason why they're single. Or maybe they got 8 kids by 9 different men or something. I don't even know that's possible, but anything's possible today. But, you know, it's just all about the numbers. More casts, more fish. You ask out more girls, you're gonna get more dates. I got one on right there. I went to pick up on it, I got one on. Boy, we're on a school of them, man. We're on a daggone school right here, and I'm catching them pretty far out from the bank too, but I mean, they're just loaded right here. Here, fish, give me that jig back. Come on. There he is. We're gonna let him go. Let's make another cast right here. I mean, all right in through here. I wonder, man, there may be a bigger population of bluegill down here than what we've realized, or what I've realized in the past. Boy, that would be something. You better believe I'm gonna be bringing some worms with me in the future. And here's the thing, so like I said, I'm gonna be down in the Keys for next 2 weeks. Well, after I go to the Everglades tomorrow, I'm driving down there, but it's a long drive. It's not, mileage-wise, it ain't very long from here, but just South Florida driving time, it takes a while to get from where we're staying in the Keys up to here. But when I come back through here on that 2 Saturdays from now, and drop the wife off at the airport, I ain't far from the airport from here. So I'm gonna come back over here if the weather allows, and we're gonna bring some more worms, and we'll see what's up then too, by gosh. Now, because now I was curious. You know, I thought we'd maybe catch some bluegill on these worms. But the fact we're finding them just kind of all over through here. Yeah, buddy. And I'm gonna fish some more today too. I mean, like I'm just gonna film here for 2 or 3 hours maybe. This is vacation for me. The views on my channel historically, with the exception of last year was an outlier. Last year was an amazing year. Everything was popping on my channel. This year we're back to normal. But 9 out of the 10 years that I have done YouTube, my channel goes off a cliff after Labor Day. Like I get a big drop after Labor Day in views. and then it slowly declines down through January, February, and finally, sometime usually mid to late March, I start to get an uptick. And I'll steadily increase all the way up through June, July, August when I kind of peak on my channel. But normally this time of year, views on my channel are terrible, and anything I do that's off-brand usually does a little worse. And so my last few catfish videos I've put out have done terrible. They've stunk it up. So I don't have great hopes of these Florida videos doing very well. So what I was kind of thinking, since this is vacation for me, I'm going to film part of it, probably this first week, and post. And you know, because of the weather back home, like I'm behind. I mean, normally I like to be ahead on videos by a week or two. I'm behind. Like today's video, I'm filming this on a Friday. You're probably gonna see it 2 days after I'm filming it here. Probably gonna post it on Sunday if my internet down there is good enough to be able to upload the file. But nevertheless, I'm gonna film this first week. But if the videos ain't doing good, next week I'm probably not gonna film at all. Like I'm probably just gonna take the week for me and just fish. But what I thought I'd do out here today, because I got all day, I'm gonna film this morning 2 or 3 hours. There's one. Oh, what is this? Oh, folks, this is not a bluegill. I don't know what it is. Boy, he's run way up under that dock too. He's still going back there. I have no idea what this is. It's big. I wish he would run out from the dock. All I can do is I got 2-pound line, folks. Like there's nothing I can do. I can't horse him. If he rubs me on that dock, I'm done. He's still on right now. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna try to cozy up on this dock with the kayak so I can hopefully see what I can do. I think he's got me around that pole over there. We're not going to land this thing, folks. I feel him on there still. He's still on, but he's gonna pop us unless he just happens to come back out the way he went in. He's gonna pop us. I can't believe it hasn't popped already, honestly. As hard as that thing was pulling, like there was no way I was going to be able to turn him on an ultralight. I don't know what it is. I would love to know. Could be a peacock, or I mean, it had to be some kind of exotic. Like I've caught some bigger largemouth. Golly bum, he's still on somehow. I can't believe this line hasn't popped. I've caught some bigger largemouth with the ultralight. They don't pull like that. Definitely wasn't a bluegill, so I don't know. I don't have a clue what that could have been. But either way, he's went over there through that dock. Somehow or another, though, I've still got him on. And I haven't broke off yet. I don't know how this is possible. I think he's went around that pole though. Unless he comes back out the way he came, like we're screwed. At some point we're gonna I can't believe we fought him this long. I have zero expectations right now. But I can't believe he's still on. He's wrapped around that pole. If he would just turn and come back out. If he would just turn. Come out the way you came, fish. It's that simple. And come out into open water. If he comes out from there and comes out to open water, like, we would have a chance, maybe. How have we not broke off right now, though? Like, oh my gosh, he come out. He come out, folks. Oh, he's going the other way now. He's going the other way. Oh my God, he just come out. He just come out. I see him right there. Oh, it's another one of them, whatever we've been getting. Again, I don't know if this is tilapia, a cichlid. Man, what a run. I thought he was going to be way bigger. I thought he was going to be way big. How did we not break off? Unbelievable. Unbelievable series of events, and we got him somehow. I can't believe that, y'all. Wow. We off to a good start on this trip, man. We got some good luck, some good fortune coming our way this trip. Let's throw that over there. Well, look at the head on that thing, buddy. Got a big knob on there. You got a big brain on you. You're the smartest fish down there. Y'all, give me a picture. We've earned a picture with this fish. Man, that's incredible, y'all. Let's get a quick measurement on him too. I didn't think we had, when he bolted like that, I was like, there's no chance in Hades we're landing that thing. 11¼ inches. But thick and powerful, man. Wow. All right, buddy. I gotta try to look that fish up when I get back to the hotel later. I don't know what those are. I don't know. I've been told before and I can't remember. Boy, he got our line all twisted up. I'm just gonna feel it here. I'm feeling for abrasion, trying to. You know, it surprisingly feels pretty good. We're gonna roll with it just because I don't want to retie. But we need to retie. We need to strip off a bunch of this line and retie, but I'm not gonna do it at the present time. I'll end up regretting it, but I ain't gonna do it right now. I want to make another cast over there. Whatever those things are, I like them, as they fight, buddy. They are a thick, powerful fish, especially on this ultralight tackle. I love ultralight fishing, man. Like I said, the simplicity of it mixed with the fact that you can do it anywhere. I mean, you can take this here in these Florida canals. I've done it at home on a Tennessee river. I'll have this rod out there in the ocean next week, throwing around the bridges and stuff. Like, you can do this anywhere and everywhere and catch fish. Like, it's an amazing technique, and it don't take any You don't need any special skills or talent. I mean, hell, I can't even cast up under these docks. I keep hitting the dock and in front of them and everywhere else. And yet we're still catching fish. You just cast it out, let it sink down, and sit there for a second. If you don't get bit, reel it in, do it again. I mean, it's really a simple technique. Same thing with when I'm using the gulp minnow. I throw it out, I let it sink down. Most of the fish I catch come on the fall, on that initial drop. Some of them I'll be reeling it in and catch them. Tend to catch more bass as I'm actively reeling in the gulp than I do on the fall. Bluegill tend to eat it more on the fall. But either way, I mean, you're using the gulp. You cast it out, let it sink down, and you just reel it in, slow and steady, to retrieve it. Easy peasy. And you're gonna catch a bunch of fish. You're gonna get some big fish doing it. Even fish like that last one, man, 11 inches. A battle. I cannot believe we got him from around that dock. I can't believe he came back out the way he went in. And I can't believe we landed him without breaking. It's amazing. I'll take it. We're ready for some good luck down here, folks. Here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna just throw this worm out at random through here between these docks as we make our way around. Since we got them other bluegill over there, between that last dock and this one, let's just see what we got going on over here. It's worth a shot. Yeah, anyway, my plans today, I'm gonna fish with you all here this morning. And then at some point, I'm gonna get off the water and go get me some lunch. And then I'm gonna come back for an afternoon session. I may or may not film. I probably won't. I may just take a little me time. I don't know. I may, if I'm feeling spry and in the mood, I may film. Who knows? We may get another. You may get back-to-back Lake Ida videos here or something. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm definitely fishing this afternoon. Whether or not I film, TBD. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then like I said, I ended up getting a hotel. I'm at the Holiday Inn Express in Boynton Beach. The last couple years when I've been down here at Lake Ida, I've stayed in a town called Lantana because it's just a few miles away from here. But this year, Boynton Beach, the Holiday Inn at the Boynton Beach was $50 cheaper than the Holiday Inn or the Comfort Inn in Lantana. And it's like 5 miles from here. So, I mean, it's close, and so it was cheaper. Well, I figured out why it was cheaper when I got there last night. Half the parking lot's closed, the repaving. So, very tough parking over there, but with this kayak here, I don't have a trailer with me. So, not a big deal. But I will say this. I got up this morning to eat down there, the complimentary buffet. And for those of you that have stayed in hotels, you know, yes, it's a complimentary breakfast, but it usually isn't very good. You get some cereal, some stale muffins, some half-rotted fruit, some watered-down orange juice from concentrate. Like, that's usually your breakfast, your complimentary breakfast, if your particular hotel has one, right? Man, the breakfast buffet at the Holiday Inn Express over here, Boynton Beach, boy, it was good today. They had bacon. I'm pretty sure it was real bacon too, not that fake stuff. But they had bacon, eggs, them little hash brown potatoes, and they had real cinnamon rolls, like hot cinnamon rolls, like under a heater. And I gotta say, I was impressed. It's probably the best breakfast buffet at a hotel I've ever been at. So I'm back there again tonight. I'm going to partake in it again in the morning before I leave out. The good thing about tomorrow, and like today too, I didn't rush out here this morning to be on the water at sunrise, because I honestly thought the peacock bass bite would be better in the afternoon than in the morning, because they seem to be, you know, I let it heat up a little bit. But tomorrow too, like, oh, I had a bite. Tomorrow I'm just gonna try to time my trip around the tide schedule, so I'm not gonna have to rush out there at dawn. But yeah, breakfast buffet at the Holiday Inn Express in Boynton Beach, highly recommended. And I'll tell you, the room rates really wasn't that bad. I think it was $307, I think, for 2 nights. Which, you know, down here, I mean, $150 a night at the beach, and have a night. I mean, I'm not staying at a dump like Holiday Inn. I mean, it's clean. It's safe. There was a homeless person sleeping in the bushes behind they had like this metal fence around the parking lot and some bushes in front of it, some bushes, but there was a homeless person back there sleeping behind it. But you know, anything of value fishing related was inside my vehicle other than the kayak. And well, you know, I say a homeless person wouldn't steal the kayak, but fun story. My buddy Ryan Bortz, we fished the Nickajack tournament last year before, and he stayed at Catfish Sumo headquarters. He spent a night down there to save some money. And while he was in there, he had his kayak on the trailer parked behind Catfish Sumo headquarters, the building there. And that part of town, well, it ain't the best part of town, okay? That's just the easiest way to put it. It ain't the best part of town. There's some riffraff down there. Well, Ryan goes out the next day, and he's like, well, how far? My kayak's gone. Somebody had stolen his kayak, trailer and all. He apparently didn't have his trailer locked to his vehicle. So he calls Daniel, and Daniel goes in there and pulls the security camera footage. And what had happened was a homeless guy had rigged up a way to attach Ryan's kayak trailer, which is just like a jet ski trailer. He had attached it to his bicycle and pedaled off. And I ain't talking, it wasn't an electric bike. It was like just a regular pedal bicycle. Pedaled off with Ryan's bike. I mean, with his kayak and trailer and all. So they call the cops. And the cops come down there and look at the footage. And luckily for Ryan, the cop that showed up knew the homeless guy. Like, you know, this wasn't his first rodeo. And he knew kind of where he would hang out and stuff. And so he went and found Ryan's kayak and called him and told him to come get it. But yeah, dude, a homeless dude on a bicycle stole Ryan's kayak, trailer, and everything. Look, if it ain't bolted down, folks, I'm telling you, it's going to get stolen. So, nevertheless, the hotel I'm staying at over here in Boynton Beach, and Boynton Beach is the name of the area here. I'm not actually staying on the beach. It would be way more expensive if I was doing that. But, nevertheless, it seems like an okay area, with the exception of the fact that there was a homeless person in the bushes. But the room is nice, it's clean. It was quiet in there last night. And the breakfast buffet, top notch. So if you think about coming down here, definitely consider that one. if it's comparable price to what you're looking for. And it's close. Like I said, it's a short drive for me to get here today. Normally through here, I would like to throw that spoon. But after we've caught some bluegill just randomly between the docks, I thought, working down through here, let's just throw this worm out and see what happens. There's something right over here on this dock, because there's a bird, right? You see that bird? There's two birds on that dock. There's a heron and some other bird over there. So there's clearly some bait fish on that dock, and if there's bait fish over there, there's probably something else. I can't remember if I've caught stuff off that dock in years past or not. There's another dock over here in this corner I'm definitely going to hit today. I don't know if we'll hit it on this video or if I'll do that after lunch. Is that a fish? It is. Couldn't tell at first if I was just pulling up some grass or something or if it was a fish, but we got one. Oh, it's another one. Man, y'all, worms getting it done. I'm so happy I brought these worms. This one's another one here. He's not the biggest, but boy, they're good fish, man. I'm so happy I brought these worms. This really worked out. I just, I hadn't done it in years past because, again, I was specifically told that worms just don't work well here on Lake Ida. And we haven't caught any peacocks on them. So maybe they don't work for peacock bass or some of these other exotic species. But the bluegill, which, it's a big deal for me to come down here and catch these copper-nosed bluegill. I'm content with it. And we're getting them here in places that I haven't gotten them in years past using the gulp. Now, granted, I haven't spent much time throwing the gulp here in between the docks and stuff, but still, I'm got a lot of hope and optimism here with these worms. Glad we brought them. Hell of an idea you had. I'm thinking too, last year there was a canal I fished. In the Key, I guess it's the Key Largo area. I got it marked on a map. Elias told me about it. But it's a canal, and it's where the freshwater ends and the saltwater begins. And you can fish either side. You can fish the saltwater side or you can fish the freshwater side. And last year I fished the saltwater side. And I caught some fish. Caught a bunch of snapper, and I got a big old drum. Saw some manatees in there. It was great. I'm thinking at some point while I'm down here, if it's a windy day and I can't get out in the ocean, I might like to go up there and fish the freshwater side. I'd like to fish the saltwater side again too, but since I didn't fish the freshwater side last year, I'd definitely like to hit it this year. But who knows? We might find some bluegill down there, and it's even farther south too. So who knows? Who knows what all we're going to find? That heron up there, he's on that dock watching, buddy. And they've got another bird right here. He's got his back to us. He's disrespectful. Heron turned his back on us too. These birds got no respect for nobody from Tennessee. They said our kind ain't welcome down here. They said we invade Florida every winter. us tourists. They feel about us Tennesseans coming down here like we feel about New Yorkers coming to Tennessee. I tell you, man, and I guess these people down here in Florida have been experiencing it for years with everybody moving down here. But boy, Tennessee has just gotten, and just specifically the town I live in, it's constantly new housing developments, subdivisions, apartment complexes everywhere. The traffic's out of control. Like, it's just, and it's foreigners. I mean, not like foreigners overseas, but I mean like, you know, just foreign from Tennessee, like New York, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Like, they keep coming to Tennessee. And we're out of space, man. We're full. Well, I need to put up a sign coming in Tennessee that says no occupancy. I want to throw and see if there's some occupancy up over here in the shade of the dock. You think there will be? Let's throw back over there and find out. That bird's curious too. So far, I think these birds are on the wrong dock because we ain't caught nothing. You on the wrong dock, bird. Yep, you on the wrong dock. All right, let's make a few random casts through here with the worm and work our way down to the next dock. I kind of want to bust out that spoon again. I think I'm going to spend, at some point today, I'm going to do like a solid hour of just throwing that spoon and see what I get. It may not be during our video here, but at some point today, well, I'm gonna set a timer maybe on my phone and do a full hour of it. I do want to get some peacocks down here. Whether it's on video or not, I want to get some. And I think that spoon's gonna be the ticket. I know everybody, the fishing guides and stuff down here use shiners mostly. And I had bought some shiners one of them trips last year, year before, and caught some, but the shiners were kind of, I felt like they were kind of a waste of money, and they were expensive too. It was like $15. Oh, we got a fish? Oh, we do. What is it? Oh, what is this now? What is this? It's not a bluegill. Is it a bass? Oh, large jaw. And then they call them a South Florida bycatch down here. It's the primary sport fish where I'm from. Down here, nobody likes them. Down here, people would rather catch anything but. But yeah, them shiners, when I had got them before, I'd got like 3 dozen of them, and I think the price was $40-something, $50. It was pretty insane what shiners cost down here. So I was like, yeah, I don't really want to fool with that. Meanwhile, this tub of worms at home was like $3.99 maybe. Pretty cheap. But we're catching a lot of fish with it. Now, if we were using the shiners, we would certainly probably catch some more peacocks. Probably some larger peacocks than what we'll get maybe on the spoons, but I think if I spend a solid hour throwing that spoon, we'll get some. We got another drainage pipe situation. You can see part of it, one sticking up out of the water over here. I'm definitely going to make some casts. I set the hook on something that wasn't there. I don't know if that was a fish or if I was just feeling something. Wherever y'all are at watching this right now, though, it's probably, I mean, just statistically speaking, if you're not in Florida, it's probably cold wherever you're at. Boy, if you could just feel this weather right now through your screen, I mean, it's literally, it's shorts, t-shirt, and flip-flop weather down here, folks. It's amazing. Amazing weather. Sunny today. I think as we've made our way along over here, the wind, I guess it's still blowing, but we're just not nearly as exposed to it here where we're at. So we're pretty much able to do whatever we want up through here. It seems like when I've come here in the past, the wind has not been our friend. Like there's been some real windy conditions when I have fished Lake Ida, but boy, right now, I mean, this area is, this is about as good a conditions as we've ever had right through here for me to be able to cast and be able to feel the bites and stuff. Now, down this canal, it kind of chokes down through here. It's a more narrow canal as we make our way back. I had got on some peacocks down through here and with the spoon. And I may, whenever I do throw that spoon, I may do it right in through here. Because I remember I got several peacocks. I've been told too, like some jerk baits, they like that as well. Problem is, some of these things that they like, I don't really like. I don't really like throwing jerk bait. Like this ultralight technique here with the worms and gulp, like I enjoy that. I enjoy the process of it. Not just the catches, but I enjoy the process. If I got to chunk and wind and actively work, like it's one thing to throw that spoon where I can just cast and retrieve. Like that's one thing. But like if I have to actively work a lure, yeah, I'm just not that style of fisherman, folks. I'm kind of lazy. That's why I like catfishing so much. I can just throw my lines out and kick back and relax. With this, it's certainly a more active technique. I'm casting and such, but usually when you're ultralight fishing, you're getting bit so frequently that it kind of keeps your attention. But like if I was having to, I'll just use musky fishing as an example, where you're casting and casting and casting and having to work a lure and do the figure 8 thing and all that, and you just ain't getting bit. Oh, that bite right then, right on cue. But when you're doing that all day and you're hoping to get 1 or 2 bites, like, boy, that just, I ain't got it in me, man. I just ain't, I can't do it. I feel like something's different about this house than the last time, but I can't put my finger on what it was. It looks like it's empty, like it might be. Y'all should look it up and see if it's for sale. You might want to buy it for me. I'm gonna need you to pay the taxes on it too, though. Don't just buy me the house and leave me with the tax bill and the HOA bill and all that. That's my biggest thing. Like me and my wife, of course, we've talked about, we both love it down here. And we've talked about coming down here at some point. Oh, fish. Right here in front of this dock. Boy, this one's gonna pull too now. Ooh. Ooh, he's strong. What is this? Oh, we got a shell cracker. Well, how about that? Got us a shell cracker here. This boat going by just saw me catch it too. They'll probably be over here later seeing what they can catch. How about that, folks? Got us a shell cracker. I didn't know these were here. You can tell, we call them shell cracker. They're red ear sunfish, and you know they're what they are because they've got that little red line there. This is actually probably smaller. Normally you catch a shell cracker, they're a little bit bigger than bluegill. They're normally kind of in that 8 to 10 inch range too. Most of the time, I think if this one would calm down, we would find that he's probably short of 8 inches. Right there at 8 inches. Nice. Well, another one of those catches I wasn't really expecting. Nice. But yeah, so anyway, me and the wife, you know, we've talked about coming down here and we've looked into it some. But one of the frustrating things about potentially moving to South Florida, it's the fees you get hit with down here, man. You get, I mean, property taxes, of course, is expensive down here, which, why it has to be with all the tourist money they're getting, who knows, but nevertheless, it is. They're proud of their properties down here, so they want to tax them heavily. But then, pretty much anywhere that you would want to live, you have to pay HOA fees on top of it. And some of these HOA fees are $500 a month or more. Like, that's a mortgage payment in some areas. I mean, my house is paid off now at this point, but when I had a mortgage payment, my house payment was like $700 and something. And some of the HOA fees that never go away, like you pay that fee for eternity just to live in a neighborhood, $500+ a month. I'm like, that's just excessive, man, on top of your property taxes. So like you get one of these houses down here in Florida, even once you own it, you never really own it because you pay out the ass for property taxes. You stop paying those property taxes, they're going to take your house. You pay out the ass for HOA fees. If you stop paying those, you're going to get sued. And then on top of all that, you got to pay an increased premium for homeowners insurance down here. Because basically you're paying, you've got risks of hurricanes, obviously. And about every year a hurricane's going to hit somewhere in Florida, but the insurance companies down here, you're kind of, even though you live this far inland, you may not be really affected. You're lumped in with the people who are affected, so everybody down here is going to pay a premium on insurance. So, I mean, like, it's just a lot of those expenses that I guess we take for granted living where I do, where property taxes are cheap and I don't have an HOA fee and my insurance is more expensive than I would like, but nothing compared to down here. Of course, Tennessee, well, of course, Florida, neither Florida or Tennessee has a state income tax. So that's good, but still. They just nickel and dime. Oh, we got a fish? Yeah, we do. Thought my line was spoofing. But you just get nickeled and dimed, man. Nickeled and dimed every which way you go. What? Well, this is an interesting color fish. Get up here. And this is very interesting color here. It's another one of those, I think. Could it be a cross between a copper nose and a northern? Maybe that may just be a copper nose. The colorations on him. It's another one there, probably over 8 inches, but I'm not going to throw him on the board at this point. But definitely nice fish, man. Oh, definitely one that don't want to stick around too. Man, we're getting these bluegill all up and down through here, just throwing randomly. It's possible I've just underestimated how many bluegill are through here. Like this is just an amazing fishery. Now, if you're not familiar, I've done these videos in the past few years when I've come down here. So, I mean, if you're a regular viewer, you've heard me talk about this area. But if you're new to my channel and you've stuck around this long, thanks. But I'll kind of give you the rundown of how this is through here. So, all through South Florida, you have these canals, freshwater canals. And ever so often, they will open up into a deeper area that will be a quote-unquote lake. Now, this is the upper pool here of Lake Ida. You can see all the way around it. Like there's ponds back home that are bigger than what this quote-unquote lake is. But nevertheless, these freshwater, peacock. He hit it as I was reeling in. He hit it right there. He hit that worm as I was reeling it in to make another cast. A little small peacock right here. You calm down, sir. Let me get that hook out of you. Well, if I can get it out. There we go. Yeah, a little small peacock, but happy to have him. We're going to get some bigger than that when I start throwing that spoon. I may end up getting me some shiners today, too. Hell, I don't know. I get out, go get some lunch. I may end up getting some dang shiners. Trying to bust a big one this afternoon. But, so you got these freshwater canals through here. And a lot of them are just small canals. They're choked out with grass and stuff. But ever so often they open up into these areas that are called lakes. And this one here, Lake Ida, of course, it's nice. You've got a lot of nice houses around it, obviously. But you've got a public park over there that I launched at. It's free to access. Safe to leave your vehicle, and you can access both parts of this lake and some of the canals up through here too. And a lot of these lakes will be in kind of like private gated communities and stuff, but this one here, Lake Ida, it's open to the public. Now the downside of that is you do get, what's going on right here? Something's over there busting some fish. Did you see that? Here, let me set the worm down a second. Actually, you know what let's do? Let's let out a little line. Then set it down. Maybe something will snatch that worm while it's sitting there. But we just got that peacock. And now I'm seeing something over there chasing bait. Let's throw the spoon a second. But what I was trying to say is a lot of these lakes will be in private gated communities. But Lake Ida here is open to anybody. So you can access it, I can access it, whatever. Now the downside of that is you get some idiots that access it too. Like you're gonna have some people the last couple years, like riding jet skis through these little tiny canals. So, you know, you get some stupid idiots that you got to deal with when you're on these public waterways like this. But it is a nice place, like as a person coming down on vacation and you want to access somewhere that's safe, that you don't have to park on the side of the road, you don't have to go wading through the bushes worrying about stepping on snakes and alligators to, to get to the water. Like, it's nice. I love it here. Definitely, you know, I ain't trying to be a Florida tourist salesman here or nothing, but I mean, definitely recommend coming down. Oh, got one. Got one. Yep, I bet you it's a peacock too. Oh no, he just come off. I just lost him right there. Yep. We got that one peacock. We saw the commotion, bait getting chased, and then we just had one hooked. There's some activity right here, folks. Let's just make a few more casts. I feel like I'm coming through some grass right there too, maybe. See if we could. I felt like I was coming, I cast over there toward that retaining wall. I felt like I was coming through some grass. So maybe if we cast out a little bit, we might could work the edge of the weed line potentially or get somewhere close to it. Can't believe we lost that one, but I mean, just guesstimating, it was probably a peacock. I think if it was a largemouth, it would have probably jumped in the time that we had it on. Well, all right, let's switch this rod out for the other one and let's throw the worm over there and see what happens. Yeah, I think I've talked myself into coming back this afternoon with some shiners. Now, y'all done talked me into going over here and spending a ridiculous amount of money at one of these bait shops for some shiners. Maybe what I do. I think that'll be our... I'm going to throw that spoon too, but I believe I'm going to maybe get some shiners today too and see if we can bust a big peacock. Throw a worm right through here though, see if we can land this somewhere along that grass. See if anything comes out and get it. I believe, if memory serves me, I believe I got on some fish on this dock right here too last year. If memory serves me, my memory ain't what it used to be. Let's make our way a little bit closer to it and see what we can get on it. I think probably what I would do is probably cast the shiners up probably like cast them like we would to gulp around the docks and stuff, and then in between the docks kind of troll them. Lord, here's another lawnmower man over here. Friday's mowing day, folks. If we had fished yesterday, if it hadn't took 14 hours to get down here, we probably wouldn't have seen a mower. But on Fridays, everybody be mowing out here. That's probably another fee you'd have to pay if you live down here is landscaping crew, because ain't nobody mowing their own yards. You'd have to hire a landscaper just to fit in. Now we got weed eater man. Is that a fish? Yeah. It's like my line swim. I didn't feel him, but my line was swimming. I'm gonna back us up. We're gonna blow right up on that dock. Whatever he is, he's good. Whatever he is, he's fighting hard, man. Oh, big one. Oh, that's another shell cracker. That's a big shell cracker right there. What do you know, folks? What do you know? I think he might have ate that jig head. Okay, there it is. Let's see it. I think we got leaf blower man. We got lawnmower, weed eater, and leaf blower man. It's a triple threat tag match back there, folks. We got them all going on. Let's measure this shell cracker right fast. 8 3/4. Nice. Nice fish right there. All right. I thought I'd got some fish on that dock last year. Well, I feel like I'm yelling into the microphone over these people. Oh, I apologize. I've insulted leaf blower man. It's actually 2 weed eater mans. Mans. The plural of man, men. 2 weed eater man. And lawnmower man. I think they're just getting started on that yard too. Lordy days. That mower's so loud, we're gonna hear it all the way down through here. I wonder if I should just wrap up this part of the video, because y'all don't want to listen to them damn mowers. We already heard it, the first part of the video. If anybody's left still watching, they probably ain't but 2 or 3 of you. And the only reason y'all are still watching is because you dozed off. I bored you to sleep. You're getting a little nap in, and now you just woke up because Lawnmower Man woke you up. People done lost interest in watching me catch these bluegill anyway. I love catching them though. That's the thing, like, I guess I just have a better appreciation for bluegill than what a lot of people do, because a lot of people, they're just I wouldn't say they're not like a trash fish. No, they don't have that reputation like a drum or a carp or something like that, but like, I think they're kind of just labeled more as a bait fish, I guess, a kid's fish. Like, it's something, bluegill fishing, something you do as a kid. And I think for most of us, bluegill was probably the first fish we ever caught. But then you get away from it as you get older and you move into other species, and it kind of just has that stigma about it because they are easy to catch and they are prevalent and readily available in most bodies of water, that they just don't get the respect they deserve. But when you're using tackle that's appropriate for them, appropriate for the size of the fish you're catching, and especially when you start getting some bigger class bluegill in that 8 to 10 inch range, man, they're pound for pound, they are a very hard fighter. So they just don't get they really just don't get the respect that they deserve. And fortunately for me, I've always loved bluegill. I love doing it. I love ultralight fishing. So getting to come to a place like this where, you know, not only do they have that copper nose, the strain of bluegill that we don't have back home, but just the fact that those get so much bigger on average than the northern strain that we have. Like, it's just, Lord, there's Weed Eater Man again. Lord. All right, here's what I think I'm gonna do, folks. Oh, I'm gonna reel in another. This is the smallest one we've caught. The smallest one we've caught. What is this? I don't even know what that is. I don't even have a clue what that is right there, folks, but that's the smallest one of the day. But Weed Eater Man over here, and we've been at this a couple hours. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wrap it up filming this session, and I think I'm gonna keep fishing for another hour or two myself. Here comes the wind again. I'm gonna fish just some off-camera me time, throw the worm some more, probably throw the spoon some. I'm gonna go get some lunch, and then I think I may go get some shiners and come back here this afternoon and throw some shiners. Will I film that? I don't know. We'll see how spry I'm feeling. So that may be the next video after this, or it may be a saltwater video. Who knows? We'll see. But either way, folks, I'm down here for 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks of fun in the sun. I'm going to be filming this first week of it. We'll see how it goes. If the videos do well, I'll film the second week. If they don't, then I'm going to take next week and just me time. Just totally me time. Get out here, no cameras, whatever, and enjoy myself. But yeah, y'all, thanks for those of you that stuck around, thanks for coming on this part of the trip. Lake Ida never disappoints. I've never left this lake having not caught fish and not left happy. Like, it's just, every time, it's an amazing fishery. It's so amazing. I wish it wasn't such a long drive for me to get down here. I would be here all the time. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up. I will see you all in the next video, which will, again, either be this afternoon, shiner fishing, or probably tomorrow from the Everglades. I'll see you then.